This is just gonna be a standard video as usual. Just another Q&A, just Q&A on ethics, just me vibing, waiting for Uber rides. So I might dip out, and you can leave your questions to the void, and when I come back and return from my ventures, I'll answer them, and stuff like that. But it is what it is. Tonight I'm just gonna be doing Uber rides and stuff, so I'll be dipping and skipping at random points. But for now, we stream. Hmm.
His stomach's wet for some reason, but the rest of them dry.
Marco's up lane water. People asking what the fuck is this? Well, I was gone Ubering for a little bit, but this is just a thing about ethics. Basically, wait, I'm not sure. Wait, testing one, two. Okay, cool, it's working. Basically, this channel is about answering questions related to philosophy, ethics, psychology, life. Basically, just helping y'all understand that life is miserable and everything's better off going extinct as fast as possible. But, I was just doing some Uber rides, so when it comes down to it, I'm back though. Until the phone goes bling again, and then I back at it again. Yeah, man, that's definitely one way to look at life. Well, there's only one way to look at life: random, chaotic, basically mutations, billions of years of programming. What do I talk about? What are my Uber fares about? The weather, what they're doing in Green Bay, talk about Dungeons and Dragons or like fucking past jobs that I've worked and stuff, just talk about whatever basically. It feels like sometimes I don't talk about anything. Sometimes I just seem to be like not very talkative and I let them just sit on their phones, no reason to spark conversation if they don't feel like talking. Why do that? So, you know, I got tips from people that like when I'm not talking. Not usually that much, but sometimes people just don't want to talk, and I'm like, okay, works for me. Other people are chit chatty and they don't tip me at all, and other people are chit chatty and they'll tip me like $5-10. I got tipped $26. Are you mentioning ephilism? No, I'm not mentioning ephilism. Why the fuck would I mention philosophy when I'm passengering people around? That's not a good way to get tips. It's a good way to get 1 star. If they bring up really depressing things, I'll get into it a little bit. Like I mentioned, life is pain. Eastern religions probably got it right to one dude, but that was because he was talking about how life sucked and stuff, and his day was bad. And I'm like, fair enough. But otherwise, I'm not going to talk about like how everything is random, chaotic mutations and billions of years of programming. Just the selection of whatever like propagates your DNA molecule the longest and all that. I'm not going to do that. I'll ruin people's nights already. That'll be a good way to get 1 star, as I said. So, no, I'm not going to mention ephilism. Maybe I'll mention Ultron. I'll start talking about Ultron. He's like really based. I'll be like, yeah, man. Favorite movie is Marvel's in this Marvel Cinematic Universe is Age of Ultron and the What If of Ultron because Ultron is just so based, man. And then they'd be like, why is Ultron based? And I'd be like, he wants to end all suffering and create peace in our time. And I'm like, that's truly beautiful. I could just go on an Ultron rant. Maybe I'll do that. See how it goes. And then I get reported. Just kidding. Hmm. What about wow? Are we playing? I don't know what that means, bro. But yeah, street vibing. Let's listen to some art. Chase away the regulars that have heard this video a billion times.
So we have this self-understanding that we evolved. Well, the point is you have to what you have to do with it is take it seriously. Okay, if you're gonna believe in evolution, if you're gonna concede the reality of evolution, yeah, it basically blows up the God theory. It blows up any kind of contrivances attached to that. So blow it all up and start from scratch and realize what we are. We're chemical machines, okay, that have been built over 4 billion years, and we've been tested in what can be called, quite accurately, a gladiator war, where the machines went into the battle, and if you won, your DNA replicated, and that's all it was a war. And as time evolved, that war became more complex. As the organisms evolve, they get more and more elaborate tools. So we have all these elaborate individual tools, and then it became gang warfare essentially. Then you become gangs of lions or gangs of this and tribes of that, and then the tribes genetics essentially starts evolving. Call it what it is. Okay, there's exploitation all
Pain and stealing
over the
star
place. To talk about this adaptation
energy.
and just a lie. Okay, there's winners and losers, uneven proportions on this planet. You know, to sit there and glorify the mechanism of gladiator war. Okay, fight for no good reason, kill 10 of your kind or maybe 500 of the other sentient creatures. You know, fry them up in your pots and cook them. Evolution is a story, and it's not a good story. It's a story of a forced march. 4 billion years of little machines struggling to trip the other guy, to fuck the other guy over, to eat the other guy's guts. I mean, there's organisms all over this planet right now whose only mission is to dig a hole inside of you and to eat your fucking brains. I mean, don't talk to me about how balanced and brilliant and purposeful and nichey all that crap is. That's not a legitimate niche. There obviously isn't any sensible, rational, logical reason to perpetuate gladiator war. There's no way you can make the naked truth of evolution into a good story. It's a negative story, decidedly negative. The function is survival by any mechanism, any means possible. Um, Whatever can happen. No umpires, no rules, just a blood sport, uh, and for nothing. Nothing in the end. Just a raised hand. I win, you die, and it's a crude and stupid game. Our intelligence only exists because it was a scheming tool, because it made us better at stealing star energy from other organisms. And that's the only reason why it exists. And it still remains its only function is to be used as a scheming tool to derive gratification or satisfaction of our selfish individual desires. And most of the human race is completely still owned by that nonsense. They still are more obedient to the notions of nepotism, family superiority, nationalism,
racism than they are devoted to any high-minded ideal of civilization, or decency, or justice, or fairness. Life is a sad and tragic story in nature, and humanity has done nothing to write a better chapter in the life book. We disgraced our intelligence, insulted it, brutalized it, perverted it to sick and depraved purposes. And it's all over our culture, all over our economic systems, all over our entertainment. We are American Idol at the core. We're just crass and stupid and superficial. And again, it's at this price of the suffering. I mean, I could go on. You go on for the suffering forever. You could explain, describe the horrible death that we'll meet. It will be the fate of most living sentient creatures.
Have fun, the prophet. Take care.
Gasp. There will be a long, hard, nasty, ugly road to that last breath. And as long as people aren't in that sinking boat at the moment, they're just going to party and pretend they're all yachting, even though they're on the Titanic, and the truth is written everywhere. If you open your eyes and look at it, that they're on a boat that's going to sink. It's so obvious. Really, people are so far from taking any responsibility or dealing with what reality is, and all for a stupid purpose: to make a machine that goes into an arena and fights with other machines, to simply say, I win, and then die. So its sons and daughters can play the same game all over again. It's insidious.
Yeah, man. To the jungle we go.
I would argue that if this society got rational, okay, and let's be clear, okay, more people die on the fucking highway because of drunk drivers, all right, than suicide, okay? More people die of fat. More people die of a lot of things than suicide. And you even quoted the statistics. Half the suicides die from firearms. Right, they have to choose a violent method because we'll give them no alternative. And most of these people that commit suicide, yes, they do it in secret because they can't talk to any of you motherfuckers openly about what they're feeling, because you motherfuckers will keep telling them that they're not allowed to feel what they're feeling, that they're somehow wrong, that you can't understand, because you're so involved in chasing your cheese. You just can't understand that somebody else might be in enough pain to say it's not worth it to them. The cheese is not fucking worth it. Oh, it's disgusting to have to make this argument. And okay, it's a fair game because I did bring it up. Okay, and it's a personal subject, unfortunately. Okay, because other people who feel the way I feel will never say it, okay, because they know the ridicule they're going to be subject to. They know what's coming if they open their goddamn mouth on the goddamn subject, because you motherfuckers will just label them insane, label them crazy, label them emotionally unstable or some other bullshit, because you're too intellectually dishonest to have an argument that is honest. Okay, so I'm honestly telling you, I'm not running from my old age. I'm not running from some infirmity in my old age. I'm saying to you that I was smart enough, very young in my life, to figure out that this is a cheese chasing game, that you never fucking win. It's an addiction. Okay, you are addicted from birth.
There ain't no winning.
All right,
Just
you're
fucking
hungry
death.
and you consume. and you consume other feeling creatures. You step on shit. You're always going to be a selfish animal. And I saw that about myself. I'm saying, I want something. I want more Christmas presents. I want this. I want that. I want what he has. I want what he has. And then I figured out, damn it, that's bullshit. Why should I want what he has? He has a right to it. That is bullshit. And I figured out it's all about this goddamn want. And where does this want come from? Nature creates it in us. We don't have a fucking choice about it. It's imposed on us. And it's an imposition.
You're
And
not
if I say
wrong
this is
for
a
ritual
stupid
pleasures,
ass,
but
idiotic
it's a
system,
concept that I
there's no
like.
fucking God. This makes no fucking sense whatsoever. A rational consciousness would not create this game, would not create feeling organisms that feed on feeling
Have Into the
organisms. It
Void.
makes no fucking
That's in the living room.
And so that's all I'm saying is that you can play the game. That's your business. As I said,
Where
I
is it?
intellectually think it is the right thing
Yeah,
to do
it's
to
in the
press
living
the
room.
button because I think this is a
Oh,
sick
nope, I don't.
parasitic
It's right here.
game. This whole crust of the earth is just covered. We're just parasites. We are all maggots. We got a mouth and an ass, and we just keep consuming, and shitting, and
Into the
shitting.
void.
And that's all we are. All right? And you want to glorify it and make it more, that's your business. That is your fucking right. As I said, for ethical reasons, I wouldn't.
Yo, Scott, you'd actually like this movie. Into the Void is about reincarnation and how you can't escape death. And like it's about this kid that walks into like a nightclub to deal drugs, gets shot by the police, and you see this like cycle of death and reincarnation. It's actually pretty dope. It's a really fucking dark movie. It has like a lot of Freudian fucked up shit going on in it, like a really dark Ethelist story. Like has a lot of like fucked up shit that like involving like reincarnation and like incest and like pain, suffering, and like trauma and just the nature of life in general. Like it's just really fucking weird, but it's a really good film. Honestly, all the Gaspar Noé films are really weird. But back to the video.
press the goddamn button because you morons have a right to make your choice, just as I should have a right to make my choice freely. And the choice shouldn't be to put a fucking gun to my head and blow my brains out. The choice should be at least a humane death that you're going to give a child molesting murderer. I should at least have that. Okay, but what I really should have is a Dr. Kevorkian or somebody else that I can call up and say, it's time for me to go. I'm done. I'm finished. And we should have a procedure for that and a waiting period.
Amendum rants are always
To
great.
impose life is no better than to impose death. All right, that's just a reality. Okay, that's is a truthism. All right, you don't like that truth, but it's a fucking goddamn truth. It is the imposition that is the crime. Jackass.
I wouldn't just finish this up, Jack. This is one of his newest videos or something.
Welcome to another edition of What the Fuck Happenings in the YouTube Atheist Community. And
it's 8 years ago.
Anyway, the garden is so much rain.
Look at him, he's talking about his garden. It's so wholesome.
Too much rain. Anyway, and I'm deaf now. It's okay here. So my swimmer's ear problem. Anyway.
What the fuck, swimmer's ear?
It's just not going away this time for whatever reason. Anyway, not your problem. But it is almost getting, like, there's almost flowers. They're kind of lame and weak yet, but something.
I love the things it will never tell you. This is in one of my music playlists because of the music in the background. It
Things They Will
accidentally made
Never
it
Tell You
here.
by Thomas Ligotti.
So I just never removed it either.
They'll always say to you that it's okay. They'll always say to you that it's all right. Under no circumstances will they say to you that it's not okay. Under no conditions will they say to you that it's not all right. If only once in the course of all time, if only once in the course of your life, they would say to you that it's not okay, that it's not all right. If only once they would give you the satisfaction of hearing it spoken, only once allow you to ride on those wonderful words and soar upon the spit and the sneer and the astronomical relief of hearing it said, only once. They will never say it's not okay. They'll never say that it has never been, nor will it ever be the least bit right, in the least degree. Have they mentioned that you could get by quite easily without knowing a single moment of what we call joy or what we call pleasure? That you can exist for many years, a lifetime in fact, and be estranged from anything we might call happiness or simply relaxation, yet continue to flourish right up to the very second that your own headstone looms into view. You know that it's true, but have they ever mentioned this to you? Have they ever mentioned that no one could get by, that nothing alive could remain so for long without the fear of hurt and dread of harm, without feeling the frustration or the anguish, or the full hell of unmitigated torment that is woven into everything that
that's what you
lives,
think, man,
comprises the very
until you get
threads holding it
cancer
all
or
together and
crippling
true?
car
Have they ever
injury, and
mentioned
then
this
that's
to
when
you?
life throws you the
Pain is
curveball.
essential. There's nothing else to do, no other way to be. We can call it what we like, say that pain is something else, or part of something else. Never fret about finding it to be otherwise, finding it untrue.
No, it's fair. You gotta
Because
rub
pain
it in
is
sometimes.
essential. It is all there is. So why would they ever mention this to you? Skull crushing. Due to the
Skull
nature of
crushing.
physical existence, they cannot avoid imparting to select persons what it means to have one's skull crushed, either slowly or quickly, completely or partially, whether one is deliberately attacked by some skull crusher or simply the victim of some skull crushing accident. The reason that skull crushing cannot entirely be kept a secret by them is that such an event involves, in many cases, not only great bodily pain, but also mental derangement and intense emotional agony, striking phenomena that are difficult to conceal, even to the imagination of a brain that has not undergone an actual incidence of skull crushing. Nevertheless, they have succeeded in restricting the knowledge of what it means to have one's skull crushed, to the extent that it is not a vital factor in forming the way the population in general thinks about what it means to sustain lasting and excruciating damage to any part of the human body, whether this part is a skull or the brain inside that skull, not to mention the spine and the similar developments that may ensue from
Buffalo.
spinal crushing, or even the effects of a
Spinal
pernicious
crushing.
disease affecting some other part of the anatomy that may be crushed from the inside, one cell at a time. Insanity and nothingness. Stuff and nonsense. Insanity, derangement. Whatever name you want to use, we can't get enough of it. They've made sure of that. Offer us nothingness and we will pass it by without a glance, given its invisibility to our sight. They've made sure of that too. In the dark corridors of our brains and the black chaos of the world's marketplace, we will rush about as if in a dream, to grab at every piece of pulsing inventory paraded out.
Oh
A
yeah, of
galaxy
course.
of
Yeah, yeah.
arbitrary
Topic
objects in all
seriously is
shapes
the
and
way it says
colors. A
skull
full array of
crushing.
unrequested needs, unrequested impulses,
It's funny.
and of course, every accessory imaginable for those motley costumes of agony we are forced to wear every day of our lives. Seizing such merchandise with a death grip and recalling only when our hands feel nothing in their closing grasp. Between insanity and nothingness, the choice was determined from the outset. They made sure of everything. Bottom line, no one is in the market for nothingness, while insanity, since time began, has always been flying off the shelves. The sellers. Which of them would ever say that all they have to sell is a piece of fruit gone rotten, shriveled and yet still pale green, with a dying life made of mold? They would never tell you that what they are selling is something spoiled, a piece of fruit left forgotten, unfit to be sold, and ripe with pain.
I'm gonna start saying the way he does now. That's skull crushing. King of the Hill or We Are All Doomed. I love that. He's how he says it right away in the very beginning. He's like, "We are all doomed." uh, hmm. Okay. Heads, we are all doomed. Tails, king of the hill. Flip a coin. Flip a coin. Tails. Okay. It means we're watching King of the Hill.
It's not a complex philosophy. You don't need a whole bunch of complicated math. If you're a rational person and you realize there's no magical gods or leprechauns or fairies that are running the universe, you're stuck with evolution. You look at evolution honestly, it's not a nice process. It's a gladiator war. There's a ton of defeated for your one victor. His victory will be short because he's going to be just round up eventually too. So it's all just playing a little King of the Hill temporarily game based on this passion, this addiction to play the game. Some silly notion that you're going to actually be able to accomplish anything truly valuable besides cleaning up messes. That's all there is to do here. The only thing you can feel
we're doing
good
the
about
dying
is preventing
thing, just
harm. Because
slowly.
there's nothing else to do here that's worthwhile.
It's like
the game
slow
is kind
motion.
of dismal. It's a stupid molecule replicating and huge carnage. Kill 95% of players when they're children. That's the game we're playing. That's what your life costs. All the harm that happens in the world happens so you can have your little moments of gratification. So you get your little yum yum moment and somebody else gets cancer. And that's the price paid. That's the rules of the game, so to speak. Can't have one without the other. So you're basically saying it's okay, go ahead, torture some kids, kill some kids. I'm worth it. I'm worth all the animals that have
Well,
to
I've
die
been at the end of the
to
rope
create my
twice this
portion
year,
of the
and
biosphere that
other
I'm
people
feeding
are,
on.
you know,
I'm
I'm
worth
just
their
saying,
pain and suffering.
it's just
You're
Cheeto
stupid
chasing,
enough to
man.
think that Nephilism isn't for you. You somehow have a Jedi based on your preposterously inflated ego. The fact that you actually think you can win, that there's victory here to be had, grabbed, held. Oh. And it won't be. You can hold on to the edge and think, I'm winning. But no, the meat grinder is going to get you. It's going to grind you up into little tiny pieces. It's going to kill your kids in a violent and horrible way. It's going to kill everyone. And it's likely to do it first by torturing them for a good long while. Sometimes for their entire fucking life. Just struggle, and then die. So if you're rational and you look at the world the way it is instead of the way you would like it to be, it's a bad game. There's no rationalizations here. There's no way to justify it, to change the fact of it. Millions tortured for your existence, having parts of their body ripped off and having to live with it, having their entrails dragging behind them for a few hours before they finally succumb, being eaten alive. This is a price being paid so you can sit there and think you're accomplishing something.
What's
you're
up,
winning.
Creepy?
That's the kind of victory you want? So yeah, there.
Say, Brant, what's poppin', G? One second, I'm closing my door. Life. Tyler is here. Yo.
So.
Not too much, just vibing, watching videos. Waiting for Uber rides. Waiting for the Uber ride.
Trying to get to the top of that hill.
Hell yeah.
That complicated? You need a whole book to understand. This is the consequences of the fact that there is no creator, there's no grand purpose here. You're just horny and hungry little animals, that's all. You got this insatiable ego that just says, I know I'm winning. I'm going to die with my boots on. I'm going to win. I'm going to have all of these wonderful things. I'm going to get there somehow. I'm going to win the lottery. You can't see how your life is just built on silly hope, desperately silly hope.
of some dream of the life you're going to live? Not the reality, factual, statistical odds. No, I won't pay attention to any of those rules because I'm special. It's not a rational philosophy. I'm just caught up.
Sorry,
in
my dude, but I just want to destroy the hill.
Mechanism that's just going to grind shit up, kill everything in the end. Just a bunch of brutality
burn the hill to the ground.
Show for a trivial podium holding your gold medal. All of this price paid for this piece of shit. It's completely illogical and nonsensical to say.
I want to level that
justify
shit.
The pain. Give a kid an answer. I'm worth it. That's what you're saying. Eat an elephant alive. I'm worth it. That's the truth of existence. Unless you believe in a fairy tale, unless you believe some psychotic god stuck your penis or your vagina on you and said, go fuck the world. You have some kind of brilliant mission besides cheating and conniving and scheming for your own welfare. I mean, this is pathetic. That we have a rational conversation about the dilemma we're stuck in, the carnage of this brutal and stupid game of ambition. Let's send 6 people in a spaceship to go say, what, being human is so spectacular, we're so interesting. You're butt fuckers. Pieces of shit. I mean, you're useless. Don't pretend it's any more than your horny addictions that you live for.
So, Tyler, do you live for anything other than horny addictions?
Yes, I've had anal sex. Anal sex is great for the circumcised penis.
Fair enough. You heard the man. But I still think that's one of the horny addictions, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's one of the 7 deadly hornies.
Yes, the 7 deadly hornies. Circumcised anal. Perpetual pleasure says especially big asses. Who's knocking on my door?
Yeah, you definitely need a fat girl, bro.
There's 2 pieces of pizza.
You're gonna eat him?
Nope, we're going to bed. There's onions and peppers on them too. So
you heard that, guys. Scrapitarian.
But Brandon's even better.
Is Dad awake?
Yeah, but
Tell him.
He can't have onions.
He can have onions.
He refuses to eat onions.
I'm trying to eliminate everything. Does Mom not want it?
My mom already had our quarter piece, which I'm eating right now.
Okay. I'm eliminating all possibilities of people in the house. Does Katie want it? Katie already ate the pizza and went to sleep? Wow, what the fuck? Okay, I'm eating a scrapitarian and eliminating all possibilities of people eating the remaining 2 slices of pizza before I eat it. So, you know. And there's vegetables on the pizza. Wow. God, I don't give a goddamn about the fact there's vegetables on the pizza. What if...
I know. It means I'm going to be eating it tomorrow with her, but more likely you can plan on making a pizza.
Moral story is, yeah, guess what, guys? I could eat some pizza. I haven't eaten pizza in like a week. Because I quit Nestle and I was working there. There's a bunch of pizza that was out of the supply and demand chain because it was like damaged boxes and stuff like that. So I was like, yes, pizza I can actually eat as a vegan. But, you know, / vegetarian. But now I also am allowed to eat things that are thrown away / not consumed otherwise. So those 2 slices of pizza, my brother's going to sleep, and he's just like, yeah, man, I'm not gonna eat in the morning. So I'm like, yo, that means pizza for me. So my brother's a white boy, so he's all like, I want my pizza fresh, wee wee. You know, he doesn't want.
I walk the plank.
He doesn't want to have that leftover pizza, so I'll have it. Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go snag that pizza. Think of something to talk about, my dude, in terms of topics. I'll be right back, and I'm willing to talk about whatever you want to talk about. I swear to God, if my Uber app goes off while I'm gone, I will cry.
Yeah, so I was just thinking, we should send out a new message to, instead of killing ourselves, we should support the message to kill our parents. We should immediately take action to kill our parents and do that the best we can
like I stole that corner piece
to resist the.
It's a pizza, Colin.
To resist World War III, nuclear World War III. We just have to kill our parents, and that'll promote enough of a message to get across to the
Well, you
reptilian
do that,
elites.
Tyler. I don't believe in the reptilians, but fair enough.
Take a bite. Want your
Colin, is this like homemade pizza or?
Oh, modified it.
Swear to God. Tastes like pizza.
But with vegetables.
Yep.
I don't know, man. It's like the pizza just, I don't know. It's like, it's
Talking to my
fucking,
brother.
I don't know what to say about the pizza, man. I don't know. It's just really,
I'm just talking to my brother.
Ugh.
I mean, yeah, pizza, it tastes mediocre, man. It's okay. I mean, I'll eat whatever, basically. Just thrown my way. So long as it's going to be thrown away, I'll eat it. As long as it's not, like, consumed partially by someone else, that'd be a little gross. Or if it's raw, that'd be a little gross. But yeah, when it comes to eliminating parental lives, hey man, if you want to do that, all power to you. I'm not going to advocate for that on my channel. But when it comes down to it, violence is bad. We should use words. Words are good and definitely a solution to things, given this world of power dynamics. So don't do violence against people. That's wrong.
So negative utilitarianism is a word.
It is a. I was just joking if you saw my winking, but no, when it comes down to it, yeah, it's not exactly. If you want to reduce net suffering, you probably don't. We want to have the numbers on your side before you do action. So when it comes down to it, probably don't do that. It is just a word with a lot of meaning behind it, and jumping to actions that are radicalized are not exactly going to be the greatest way to spread the message. As far as I'm concerned, ISIS hasn't caught on, and even in the Middle East. I mean, it's still a minority religion, Violence doesn't pass on things very well, besides bullets.
Yeah, besides rape culture.
I mean, when it comes down to it, yeah, you're not wrong. There's plenty of that going on, but when it comes down to it, if you're a figure who's notable in the community to any extent or has any presence online and you commit a homicide, you're gonna be known for being an ethicist that commits homicide, not just yourself that commits homicide. Therefore, you're tarnishing the movement. So when it comes down to it, don't do homicidal acts in the name of ethilism. Not very cash money for people who are trying to reduce net suffering. That's my message. But it's true, don't do it. So when it comes down to it, if you're like anybody like who's like a notable figure, if you're just some random Joe Schmo living in like Afghanistan, I don't give a fuck what you do. But that's when it comes down to it. If you're some person who's not some Joe Schmo living in like the backwaters of Nigeria or something, yeah, you probably don't want to get your media attention being negative for ethilism. It's not going to reduce net suffering. It's just going to cause a lot of panic and hate towards the movement, and that's not Gucci. So, moral story has become serial killer. No, I'm just joking. Ooh, look at that. Hear that noise? That's Uber.
That noise.
Anyways, I gotta mute your mic because I don't trust you to talk. But you can stay here if you want while I'm.
Man, it was so easy to unmute myself. Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on with this. I saw somebody throw up some hearts, but I'm just like, this is fucking these live streams are fucking whack. It's just a big fucking echo chamber. You can't even imagine how fucking gay this is.
Ah, I am back, by the way. Indeed, screw fairy tales.